Hi, I'm Richard Lewis reporting for Cadward.org, and I'm here on the last day of the Home Story Cup. The games are still coming thick and fast, and we've had some great series, and unlucky just to have gone out, but a great performance all the same is my friend from Denmark. It is Babyknight. So let's start talking about this Home Story Cup for you. I think you've played incredibly well. I think you went a lot further than I think a lot of people were expecting, especially with so many Koreans here. Let's talk about coming into the tournament. Did you have a specific mindset? You know, did you do any extra training? Were you working hard for this? Because a lot of people just generally treat this tournament as a bit of fun.
Yeah, and I kind of do too, but I would obviously like to do well, and I feel like round of 8 is pretty good, but I'm not quite satisfied with my last games. But in terms of the practice before the tournament, I was actually not invited until very late before because he had so many Protoss players already, but then some people cancelled and there was room for me. So I didn't have the most training. I would have liked to know like maybe 2 or 3 weeks in advance, but instead I had only really practiced much like 1 or 2 days before, because there aren't really that many tournaments for me other than this right now. So I just hadn't practiced much. But I'm quite alright with my performance, anyways.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the game against Symbol, right? I mean, he outbrained you, I guess is how we would put it. But it was a great game. I mean, there was so much going on. How did it feel as you were sort of feeling it slipping away? How did it feel for you? I mean, how do you think you sort of lost the game?
Oh, it felt terrible. I mean, no, like the first game, like there's so many mind games in CVP, especially in the opening, and it's really annoying, to be honest. I don't really like that too much. The first game I wanted to do a cannon rush because he usually plays pretty greedy, but he didn't do that. He went for a pretty quick pull. But when I saw that, I knew that I just had to make a cannon and I'd be fine, and I'd actually be ahead. And I was, but then I think it was a mistake to try to follow it up with 4-gate pressure. I think I should have just chrono boosted out probes and taken a third, because I think he cut drones super early and just really tried to shut my pylons down really hard, and he did. And I spent like 1 minute trying to get pylons up, and it was just terrible. I don't even know why I did that. Like, that was just really bad. I think after that I was a bit tilted, to be honest. And there was no way I could come back in that game. I was too all in on trying to do some damage, and I could never warp in the cells offensively. So that was a pretty bad game for me, even though the builds were actually pretty good for me. So after that, it's hard to bounce back, I think. And the second game on Belshire, I just wanted to do something that I do a lot, a build that I'm really comfortable with, Gateway Expand into a pretty quick Stargate, getting map control with the Phoenixes. But well, the counter, or when you don't scout like I didn't do, hatch pool opening beats it. Just you get so far ahead of Cirque, but he didn't. I don't think he did that. I think he did like a 15 hatch, which is still pretty good, and then like pool and then the third hatch. But I felt a little bit behind because of the 15 hatch, and then I lost the Phoenix to Spore Crawler. Like, just not the best micro for me. I don't know, I felt a little bit off, and as I said, a bit tilted from the first game, I guess. And he played really well. He did the Hydro timing, which was, you know, really smart. And he killed off my Phoenix and then transitioned to Mutas, and everything just snowballed, and I couldn't really hang on in that game anymore. And then the third game, I felt like I needed something extra, so I went for a really greedy build. And he did an early pool again, which there's no way I could know that, so I just built all the loss in game 3.
I mean, I think you've improved so much lately, just as a player. I mean, you know, you might be a little bit disappointed with your placement here, but I mean, like, it's been a good sort of year for you overall. I mean, you know, WCS, I think you got to the last 8 in that. And
yeah, I got top 8 in season 1, top 32 season 2, and then top 16, which is pretty consistent, I guess. Yeah.
And you know, just in general, I think you've always been there or thereabouts. Do you think with all the improvements you've made, you're now one of the elite players in Europe, you know, that you're up there with the likes of your Naniwas and your Vortexes, your Lucifrons, guys like this?
I've always thought so. I think I have the potential to be even better, but I do need to just, I guess, practice more and be more stable in tournaments, because I can't have performances like the one I just had against Symbol. Like getting tilted and stuff like that is just not, it just shouldn't happen really. And I mean, I guess I need even more experience, but I can already feel that I've improved a lot in that way. Like when I first started playing tournaments, it was a lot harder for me to get in the right mindset and stuff. But it's a lot better now. And I think next year, I think if I continue to practice really hard, I can do like super well in WCS. So it's all going to be about the practice, I think.
You've joined Millennium. I think Millennium have put together a pretty good squad of players now, and I think it's interesting because obviously Millennium was an organisation that was principally known for Stefano. I mean, that was like the big sort of marquee player that they had. But I actually think the sort of roster of talent they've put together since then's, you know, more strength in depth. It's a lot more impressive. What's it been like for you being a part of Millennium? Have you fit in quite well, and has the organisation been looking after you?
It's a really nice team. They're a little bit slow at getting certain things done sometimes because the manager is very, very busy. He's doing a lot of things with the web TV, the French web TV as well. But you know, when they do get things done, they get like everything done and everything is perfect. And like, I mean, it's a great team. It's a huge team. Like they have the huge house in France, and I think they just expanded actually and bought some new stuff and apartments or something. Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy in Millennium. Let's see.
Well, it anticipates my next question a little bit, which was, are you going to be moving to the house?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. So I'm not there right now. I'm still in Denmark, but I think I'll be going there at some point soon. I kind of want to go there when there's, because right now it's just 4GG, and obviously his English is actually not too bad, but you know, there's the language barrier, and I would like there to be more players. So if like maybe Ghost User or Daisy or someone more moves there, then I think I will go there. I really like being in an environment where you can talk to other players all the time in between games and stuff. I think it's a lot better and more motivating. So I want to go there in the future.
Have you been in a gaming house before, or any sort of similar environment?
Like I've boot camped and stuff, but I haven't been there for a long period of time now.
Okay. The other question I guess would be as well is just in terms of the people that you've got in Millennium, the other players alongside you, is there anyone you sort of already have a pretty good relationship with, like somebody that you maybe use a lot as a practice partner, somebody that you feel can give you some skills and help improve your game?
Not really. The one I talked to the most is Madalisk, because I was in team with her in Absolute Legends like 1 year ago. That was a pretty bad team though, but
we all know how that went down, yeah.
Yeah. But I talk a lot to her. She's really nice. And then I was sharing hotel with Daisy here, and I've talked a lot to him recently, and he's a really nice guy too. And I mean, everybody's really nice. I just I don't really practice much specifically with them. I mostly ladder when I play. That's just how I do it. But I do talk to them on Skype and stuff. So there's that. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk a bit more just general now. Obviously, you are a Danish esports representative. One of the things that's always intrigued me is that I go to Denmark a lot. I got a lot of friends in the esports industry in Denmark. There's this great infrastructure there, and they produce solid players and solid teams in things like League of Legends, like Counter-Strike. They've got a lot of pedigree in other games. StarCraft, it just doesn't seem to have happened. Like they haven't. I mean, there's you and there's like Bunny, and that's pretty much it. Like, no disrespect to anyone I've forgotten, but why is it in this one game? I mean, you guys aren't more like Sweden, a neighbouring country, who've just got this wealth of talent. Well, why do you think it is?
Well, there are some aspiring players like Sonder and a few others like Pink from Fnatic, and but yeah, I know what you mean. It's very true, and I think in StarCraft it's just a very competitive game. Like once you start really playing it a lot, you kind of have to think ahead and think, okay, I'm doing this because I want to be like a pro gamer or something like that. Whereas with the MOBA games especially, I think it just starts with people playing it for fun. They just come home from, I don't know, high school or university, whatever. They just play with some friends, and then eventually they play it a lot and they get quite good at it. And then if you do have that competitive mindset and you find that, then I think that's how it starts. And then a lot of Thanes have a lot of free time, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's better to play MOBAs than get drunk all the time. So yeah,
I agree with that.
I mean, I came from a MOBA scene before actually. So I mean, there were
because I remember you from Dota, right?
Yeah, I was a really good Dota player, and there was a lot of good Danish players back then as well. So it's always been like that. I mean, I think it's going to be a long time in the future before we're going to have a lot of good RTS players. It's just so competitive to start off with that, yeah, it just doesn't really fit together, I guess.
Do you ever look at the contrasting fortunes of the game? So, you know, StarCraft, everyone's a bit boo-hoo about it at the moment. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Reddit, you know. Although less so after BlizzCon. I mean, like, everyone's feel good again, right? But that'll change. But, you know, like, being a Dota player, do you ever look at, like, maybe what Dota 2 is doing at the moment? You know, I think it was like 708,000 concurrent players the other day, a new record. You know, 1.6 million prize money in the international. Do you ever think, like, you know, maybe it's not too late for me to get back to my roots?
No, I've already made that decision. If I would have, I should have gone back a long time ago if I were to go back, or I should have never switched in the first place if that was the case. But I mean, I love StarCraft. I think it's a great game, and I'm more of a 1v1 player, to be honest. And I do think StarCraft is the harder game by far, actually. I mean, I've played Dota for 5 years, and I've played StarCraft now for 3 or 4 years, so however long it's been. And I mean, I can compare them and say, like, StarCraft is just by far the hardest, so I'm definitely not going to go back to Dota. That would be like a step down for me personally, I would feel like, even though there might be more money. But then again, I mean, you have to split it with your team, and the prices seem very top-heavy right now, because there's not, the scene hasn't been there for that long in Dota 2. I think it's going to get better in the future, but right now it's just a few teams that can really make a lot of money. And you kind of have to be lucky with the teams you end up on. Even though you can be like the best player in the world, you need a good team in Dota. And there's a little bit of luck to that, to be honest. But I mean, I have been in regret sometimes, but overall I do feel, I'm glad I'm with StarCraft now.
So just the last few questions then. Well, I think we'll start with who's going to win the tournament, because obviously you can now take that backward step and have a look, and you've been on the receiving end of some very good play from someone still in the tournament. So who's your prediction?
Oh man, Hero just lost to Tasia 0-3 as well. No Protoss left, and really sad about that. But it might make me feel a little bit better, because you know, I wasn't the only one getting 0-3. The only Protoss Hero did too. So. Who's going to win the tournament? Simple is going to be playing Tasia. That's going to be a really good match. I'm going to watch that. Even though I'm a Protoss, I do like to watch really high-level TVC, and yeah, that's going to be a great match. Who's going to take that? I think Tasia will take it. He's just so good, and he has so much experience. And I don't know about Symbol's CVT, actually. I haven't really seen that too much. On the other side, I believe Happy is still playing against Hyun. Yeah. I think Hyun is up 2-1, but I'm not completely sure. But I think Symbol actually just won a game, or Hyun, sorry. Yeah, so I don't know who's gonna, I don't know who's gonna win that. But then we have Jakji against, who's he playing against? Do you know? I can't remember. Yeah. So, oh, Linok.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, so many good players left. We have all the really good Koreans left. Yeah. I could see Linok taking it too. I don't think Jakji is gonna win. He doesn't have that much experience with foreign tournaments either. I think Happy could beat Hyun, but then, and actually he does have Jakji after, or Linok, but I could see Jakji beating Linok. So I think if Happy gets really lucky with the bracket, he could actually go in the final. But then I don't see him taking the tournament, so I'll say Tasia or Symbol, and I'll go with Tasia.
Very methodical and well thought out. Like we say this is how good the coverage is. We don't even know who's left in the tournament when we do the interviews. Right. So here's the other question as well. Just some general Home Story Cup things, because like, you know, I know like you say you were sort of a last minute invite, but this isn't your first. You've been to one before. So
two before.
Yeah, two before. So. You know, I mean, is it something that you kind of look forward to in the calendar? I always get this vibe that players really want to be here. You know?
Yeah, I was really sad when I first he didn't invite me. I don't know if he got me or whatever, because I mean I have been here 2 times before, and I casted so much, and I love being here. And I mean he did invite a lot more Koreans now than he used to, so I guess that's why. But I really hope I can be in the next one as well. Like I really love it here. Just even if I don't cast or play, I mean even if I'm out of the tournament the first day, I still have so much fun here, just talking to all the other players and just you know, hanging out. And they have a good setup too. Like you can usually get a PC to practice on as well. So it's all good.
Okay. Well, just finally, I'll let you do your shout-outs, which I always forget on the interview. Sorry, I'm a little bit rusty. I haven't done it for a while. You know, all your sponsors and everything that we can see on your hoodie, and anyone personally that you'd like to say.
Yeah, sure. Shout out to Millennium, my awesome team. And we don't have too much sponsors. They mostly rely on the web TV that they have. They get a lot of viewers right now in France, like 5K concurrent usually, which is pretty sick. And then we have Winamax, Corsair, and Cdiscount. I think mostly French, but yeah, and then you know, I don't really have any special shout-outs. Just thanks for cheering for me, everyone who cheered for me, and you can follow me on Twitter at m_Babyknight. Yeah, thanks for the interview. Oh,
no worries. Look, it's great to catch up with you again, and like I say, all the best for the future. I'm sure 2014 is going to be your year. I got a good feeling for you. And all the people out there at Katarina.org, do stay tuned to the website. We're going to have more interviews like this one from here at the last day at Home Story Cup 8, Krefeld, Germany.